What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And I hope you like this video. This is 20s Season 2, Episode 7. So listen, Hattie and Marie are on their way down to Moon Dance, which I'm thinking is sort of along the lines of Salt Lake. Was it? Don't they have a movie fest in Salt Lake City or Tribeca or whatever the situation is? Hattie shows up at the airport with Adina in tow, and Marie is like, excuse me, I gave you a first class ticket for you because I thought this would be a good opportunity for you to come to a place like this to try to meet, network, and get some exposure. But I'm not understanding. And I thought maybe it'd be a good opportunity for us to hang out. And Hattie was like, oh, my bad. You thought this was going to be a good chance for us to kind of bond. Oh, my bad. But guess who else is there? Marie's boss, white boy, he is coming along because Ben at the last minute said he couldn't come. So they're all headed down to the movie fest because Hattie done switched out her first class ticket for 2 coach tickets because she wanted Dina to come, because of course her and Dina are both writers and they're sort of in the same, situation. Now, let me go ahead and knock out what's going on back home, and then we're going to get to this movie fest, okay? So, Mia is out on a date with Mr., no social media / but I got social media now. And she's complaining about her sister. She was like, listen, growing up, I was always the artsy one. I was always the one that was, coloring outside the lines, and she was playing with Barbies and worried about makeup in her outfits. We've never been the same. We've never been on the same page. And now she is up in my house and she is driving me absolutely crazy. And he was like, growing up, I always wish I had a sibling because, I'm an only child. And, it's always that grass is greener situation. You meet people that have siblings, they wish they didn't, or they complain about their siblings. You meet people who didn't have siblings, they wish they did. Because it's, grass is greener syndrome. And then she said she brings up Ben. And so he slides it in the conversation with, who is Ben? And she was like, oh, well, I thought you weren't jealous. I thought you weren't the jealous type. And she was like, I'm not, I'm just, curious. Boy, you jealous. You want to know who Ben is, okay? Now, Ben didn't go on this trip because Ben said, listen, the studio just doesn't get me. Every time I pitch an idea, they shoot it down. And he is getting drunk, and he ends up calling Mia. And he tells Mia, listen, maybe it is time for me to just strike out on my own. And Mia was like, but that's probably not a good idea. And he was like, no, because they just don't get me. They just don't understand. It's time for me to strike out on my own. Will you come with me? Now, this is what I don't understand. Mia is an actress. What you mean come with you? Like, you trying to start your own, like, movie company? Like studio? What you need Mia for? She's an actress. She's not an exec, you know what I mean? But, of course you could tell that she's real hesitant. It doesn't sound like she wants to do it. But he tells her, listen, you don't have to make a decision tonight. Think about it. Sleep on it. And she was like, okay. And of course her sister is ear hustling the whole time because her sister is just wanting her to find a man. Any man, doesn't matter. A man. Don't matter what kind of man. So then Ben ends up calling, his girlfriend and tells her that they need to take a break. Okay. He says, I just feel like we have gone as far as we can go together. He said, things have just been off with us ever since. She was like, yeah, you got your promotion. And she was like, so is it because I'm white? Like, is it because you're in a new space now and you're ashamed of me because I'm white? He was like, no, that's not it. It's just, I'm growing. She was like, and I'm not? He was like, well, we're not growing at the same pace. She said, I really can't believe you're doing this over a FaceTime call. And he said, yeah, but I really don't want to be an asshole. And she said, sir, doesn't matter because you are exactly that, an asshole. So that's that. Now let's get back to Moon Dance, okay? So we got Marie and her boss. They are flirty, looking at all the movies that they're gonna, go see. Because he says, listen, I want to buy a movie this year. Like, we always come to this. We look at a bunch of movies. We go back and we never commit to anything. We never buy anything. He said, but we absolutely are gonna buy a movie this year. She was like, okay. So he was like, I really don't feel like sitting through all these movies. She was like, I can do it. I can sit through, the movies, and we can, if you trust my judgment, we can make it happen. And so they are just flirting with each other. There's a lot of sexual tension between the two of them that has been going on since last season, okay? Now, Hattie and Adina, they done, of course, it was too late for Hattie to get a hotel room for her and Adina because she was probably just going to shack up with Marie, She done rent herself an Airbnb. They show up and baby, it does not match, okay? The pictures do not match what they done walked into. It's a little cabin. It looks like they updated the furniture since 1984, okay? And it is a futon who Lord knows what has happened on that futon. Now, Dina is frustrated because she was like, Hattie, did you not figure any of this out? Did you not get all of this straight? Hattie don't even have tickets to none of the damn movies because, again, she can get in on a buddy pass with Marie, but Marie can't get two of them in. Marie can only get one. So if Hattie had gone by herself, this wouldn't be an issue. She would have had a hotel room. She would have been able to get into any movie she wanted to get into. Now, again, I understand you got this new relationship. You really feeling her and all of that, but you ain't think this one through too well, Miss Hattie. You didn't think this one through. Now, the Airbnb, I ain't going to blame Hattie on that one because, listen, we know the Airbnbs do the bait and switch all the time, okay? If they showed you pictures of one thing and then, I can't put it on Hattie, though, because I'm going to be honest with you. When I'm doing Airbnb, baby, I read the reviews. I want to read what people said when they stayed at this establishment. Because I remember one time, I was getting me a good Airbnb, and it looked good. It was the right price. It looked nice. The pictures looked nice. But I started scrolling through those comments, and one of them comments said that they had roaches. I said, oh, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'm good. So I guess there's a part where you can sort of blame Hattie. So the rest of the weekend with Hattie and Adina is just a series of them trying to get into events that they can't get into because they don't have no tickets. They finally try to go to, they finally do get into a movie that that Hattie hated. Adina thought it kind of had some potential, but Hattie absolutely hated it. Then they decided to go try to get into this party. Well, of course, they don't have tickets. She tries to use Marie's name. Baby, Marie is already on the inside, and her name is checked off the list, okay? But she runs into a friend of hers that she actually has screened her movie, in the prior year. And she asked Hattie, you still writing? She said, listen, if you want to send your script to my manager, I'll go ahead and hook it up. He's young and hungry. He's looking for some new talent. And so, of course, Hattie is like, oh, my goodness, that is great. This is the best, this is the best opportunity. I'm down for it. Thank you. So after the lady leaves, Adina tells Marie, listen, I don't know if your script is ready for that. And so what does Hattie always do? Hattie always takes things to the extreme. What do you mean? I need your support. Why are you trying to, why are you not supporting me in my dream? She was like, hold up. I'm supporting your dream, but I'm telling you, maybe you should wait, do a couple of more rewrites, get some more notes from the group, and then send it. So Hattie is like, listen, I don't really need your criticism right now. I need your support. So they end up going back to their little, screwed up Airbnb. And Hattie, I guess, is working on the email, and I may be working on some last minute, edits here and there. And again, Dina tries to tell her, listen, I think you really should wait. I really feel like you should wait on this because I honestly don't think that you're ready. And again, Hattie is like, I'm just like, what is wrong with you? Like you said, my script was better. She was like, yes, better, but not ready. There's two different things. So, she says, how would you know? You still making lattes down to the coffee shop, which of course, now Adina's like, you know what, little girl, right? And, Hattie tries to apologize. She was like, you know what I mean. Can you just read through this and help me out, And Adina tells her, she said, listen, nobody remembers when they got the script. They just remember how the script made them feel. So, yes, you've got the person's information. You've got their name. If they get it today, if they get it 2 weeks from today, when you've had a chance to really edit yourself and really get some more feedback, I would rather you wait a couple of weeks and give yourself the best opportunity versus rushing because you think you got to strike while the fire is hot, and then the person throws it to the side, and then you've ruined that opportunity or you've missed that moment. Of course, Hattie ain't trying to hear it. And she's gonna send it anyway. And Dina is pissed off because Hattie she didn't assaulted me when I'm really just trying to help you, and you don't understand what I'm saying. That's help. Like, I'm trying to help you, and you sees it. You sees it, or you see it as me being hating on you, right? So then let's get to Marie and her boss. Okay. So we see them sitting on a panel together talking about diversity and inclusion. And of course, he's like, listen, don't be mad. I know I'm the white guy in the room talking about diversity and inclusion. So, I'm going to defer to my colleague. Okay. But Hattie was actually there at this particular event. And Hattie says, what is it that y'all are looking for? And he was like, something to make me money. And Marie was like, something to make me think, And Marie went on to answer the question and say, listen, ultimately, it's sort of like falling in love. Like, you don't know until you feel it, right? And she said, don't try to write things that you think we're going to like. Write things that mean something to you and speak to you, because we don't necessarily know what we're looking for until we find it. And so we're like, oh my gosh, that's it. So, he was like, hey, I couldn't have said it better myself. And then she went on to talk about, how much money the movies have lost over the last 10 years due to racism and non-inclusion and things of that nature. And, it is about making money too, ultimately. Okay. So her and the boss, later on that night, they done hung out all day. They done this and done that. Now, Chuck had sent her a little note down to the hotel saying, have a good time and make sure you exploring too, because you deserve a break today. Because remember, Chuck done been down to the gay clubs and he's been getting his exploration on, okay? Call him Christopher Columbus, okay? And so her and the boss are like, oh my goodness, I'm not ready for this night to end. You want to have a nightcap. Now listen, what I can appreciate is Marie was like, we ain't even gonna play that word game. Do you think I don't really think that's a good idea that we have a nightcap, because we already know what that means. We know what that's code word for. And he was like, yeah, you know what, you're right. So they go back to their hotel. She go in her room. He goes in his room. Mind you, their rooms are right next to each other. Okay. They go to, and she sits on the bed and you can see that she's thinking about it. And she thinking about it, and she thinking about it. And then she gets up and she walks over to, because their rooms, they got connected rooms. Baby, she opens up the door on her side, and he is already standing there getting ready to open up his door. And baby, they gets it in. So this about to be real tricky, sticky, icky, okay? But that's what it was. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.